Good evening, and welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum. This is session 24 and the finale of our first season. Before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce everyone and their characters. We'll start with Morningstar.
Me, again. Oh, I do love coming first. Well, I am Morningstar, and I shall be playing Elise, our wicked and scheming psyche of Median background who, well, has her eye on a prize bigger than any, and is willing to do anything to get it.
Excellent. Lilith?
I play Seth, a Nereid shapeshifter. Them and their companion Ribbert, a frog, get into all kinds of mischief with shapeshifting magic.
Excellent. Anya?
I'm Anya. I play Hollis. She is a Gob Baba with her familiar Aran, and they both like to get into hijinks dealing with death and the underworld and ghosts and spirits and possession and all the fun stuff.
And I'm Gavin. I'm the GM, and Anya and I are the co-creators of Children of Midnight Coven that we'll be playing tonight and every night. Well, every night in the past. Next week, we will be doing something very, very different. But we will discuss that more a little bit later. Tonight is also a special occasion because we are working together with #RollForUkraine to do a donation fundraising live stream for United Help Ukraine. So you can use !donate in chat to get more information. No breaking your neck before the game. Wait until afterward. So our first donation stream, please everybody use the donate hashtag or use the Roll for Ukraine hashtag on any posts you want to make about the show and support Roll for Ukraine. It's a really awesome charity. 99% of the donation goes directly to help in Ukraine with less than 1% overhead. But you can find more about them at #RollForUkraine on pretty much any platform. Twitter and Facebook are the ones I've checked. So with that said, we will get started. Last week, we had a flashback episode in which we saw one of the first few adventures that Nightsky Sanctum went on with their previous leader, Gaia. After Gaia left the picture, the group was a little bit rudderless and without leadership until Elise stepped up and became the de facto leader of Nightsky Sanctum Coven, that is.
Or at least the bossiest of the lot.
The loudest and the definitely the best at giving commands.
Her specialty. And mine.
So over time, that became sort of the new normal, but everyone, was confused about what happened with Gaia, and as far as I'm aware, no one knows but Elise what may have befallen her. Just that she never made it out of the shipwreck, and any future endeavors that they made to locate her body were not fruitful.
Seth tried swimming so much, I'm sure, all through the ocean.
And the group, over the next several months, probably met many former members of Nightsky Sanctum that came back to sort of check in. And we might meet some of those colorful characters during some of our future adventures. So I'm looking forward to that. Because in Children of Midnight Coven, the Coven is the most important aspect rather than individual characters. So players can pop in and out with other characters that are members of the Coven, along with our guest stars, which I just want to say we've had a fantastic season, and we've had so many guest stars and former cast members. So I wanted to say thank you to Azalwyn and Josh and Vespertine for all of their help, along with our beautiful crew that's here today, for making this season as epic as they have. So thank you. And thank you for the Prime subscription, Astrid. So let me first let everybody know about how the giveaways are going to work tonight before we really get down and dirty into the final episode. So everybody who wants to be in the first giveaway, the main giveaway that we've been talking about for several weeks now, just send any chat message either this week or last week, and we'll be using that as the list of people who are who can be chosen. At first, I was thinking we would be able to do it during the stream, but at this point, I'm realizing that because it's from two separate streams, I'm actually going to have a little bit more of a difficulty doing that. But make sure that if you donate, you'll be put in for the second giveaway, which is a duplicate of the other giveaway. We're going to be giving away a total of 20 stickers and 2 t-shirts. But if we make it to 200 followers by the end of tonight, we are also going to give away a hoodie. So we are only 19 followers away from that. Yeah, Lilith has one of the hoodies on right now. So, and I think Azalwyn also has a hoodie in a lighter color, and they both look really, really cool. So anyway, I will contact you via Twitch. So make sure you have messages turned on and respond to those messages. If I can't get a hold of somebody within 3 days, I'll probably draw a new name. So thank you all for joining us, and make sure you send a chat message if you want to be entered. And everybody who sent any chat messages last week, as long as you've sent one, you're in. All right. So we did a full heal after the last week's session, and as I mentioned, when we jumped forward to real time after the flashback, the gem, which had been completely deactivated for quite a while, probably at least a year, that you all have spent together since Gaia disappeared, that gem registered no magic. And the only reason Elise probably kept it around was because it was a beautiful and brilliant gem. But it did not register with any magic the entire time until it sat upon the table that day and reached out to Elise's mind. But as the 11, I think there's 11 remaining children in your care, as they are performing for you while you're all eating dinner that night, you notice that their physical symptoms of the parasitic infection that they have, as well as Elise's, seem to be getting worse, and the situation seems to be coming to a head. The last time that anyone took care of one of these infections, it was the House of the Ram that assisted, and it took all of their power, as well as you all helping to take care of one of those infections. So, and I think that even spawned Elise's parasitic infection. So it really came out almost net zero. So
Really, I mean, before it was just a child, and now it's me.
Mm-hmm. So is that what you all want to take on for tonight's undertaking?
But
I'm down.
I'd like to get this horrible little thing out of me.
Okay. We can do any kind of flashbacks or downtime activities that you need to take to get ready for something like that. But we can assume that you, we know that you're owed a large favor from House of the Ram for returning Miranda's daughter, Letha, back to her and helping remove that first parasite. So,
Shot at us.
what's that?
After they shot at us.
That's true. They did heal the Sasquatch that was helping you, though.
Oh, good.
So, I assume, do you all want to call in that big favor to get them to help with this? I think they're going to be willing to help regardless, but
It seems appropriate.
Indeed. It does. Although, my parasite is only there because I was trying to save one of their brats.
yeah. And you did. Very, very well. Okay. So, let's say everybody has 2 downtime activities to start with, since we had such an unusual session last time. So if there's anything you need to do, finishing up long-term projects, training, anything of that nature, you can do that before you head to House of the Ram.
I would like to use one of my downtime actions for telepathy for the group.
Okay. Awesome.
And I still have build left on for my artifact. I don't think we'll do any training.
Okay.
I lost my progress last time because of how poorly I rolled.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
So we're at the homestead right now?
Yep. Back in the bunker on South Brother Island.
Quinn is just for research, so Quinn probably wouldn't be helpful for the actual build portion at this point. I had the study clock before, and now I have the build clock, so I just don't know if Quinn would be appropriate under this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think generally artifacts are pretty personal. They're very, very dangerous. So if you wanted to involve him, I would say, or sorry, them. I don't remember how they identify. If you want to evolve, if you want to evolve your Pokemon Quinn, it'll turn into Quill.
Use the stone that Elise has.
Quindiquid.
Yeah. Quindiquil. If you want to involve him, I would just say we would increase the danger level. But I think they're well enough versed with this kind of thing, despite not being a full wild witch, that yeah, I think they could help.
Okay.
This is just
I think I've been doing
Sweet struggle princess.
I think I've been doing my build rolls as focus because it's multiple pieces.
yeah, that makes sense.
And how would the increased danger come into play in regards to my roll?
Let's say on a 1, it could be catastrophic.
Quinn dies.
Yeah, and on a full-fledged result of 2, it would be just a regular complication. But that's only if you roll a 2 or a 1, and you'll be rolling at least, 2 dice?
I have 3 in for
Oh,
focus.
nice. So on 3 dice, the chance of getting a result of 2 is pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
And a 1.
So 3 is my actual focus point, so I have put in. Do I add anything for Quinn now?
Yeah, you add an extra die, that's correct.
Okay, so 4 now. So if I get a 1 or a 2 at this rate, like Quinn had it coming.
Hang on.
Oh my gosh, almost.
Okay. Oh, let me turn on the dice for everyone else to see.
The
All
three.
right, Steph
That
made
is
an
correct.
action. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Quinn
that
got
was-
by by the skin of their teeth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, a 3 result is a 1 tick.
One tick. Better than no tick.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I don't think we need to to role play that one out. It looks like it's going to go nuclear, and then between you and Quinn putting your heads together, you're able to calm down the magic and get everything back on track.
And shoots out and like just misses Quinn.
Shrapnel, yeah. All right,
Well, those are both fine.
awesome. How about the two of you?
I just want to do some training.
Okay.
I'm
What do you-
going to do, because now we have all 3 training things.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to do an insight training and a prowess training.
Okay.
And that gives you 2 XP for those, right?
Because you have the upgrades, yes.
Awesome. So I get a dot in both of them.
Yeah. So, oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I've been saving it up.
I think we might make everyone's character sheets and the Coven sheet public at the end of the season, so everyone can see sort of where we've come from and what you all have. Because I don't think we've ever shared that before. So if you join us on our Discord, we'll make those sheets and stuff public, so you can see how those characters are built and what kind of upgrades their Coven has and things like that.
See, my notes are.
All right. And
It's
Morningstar?
not even handwritten and they're still messy. I am just going to train as well.
Okay.
Insight train. And then probably also a prowess train.
Okay. Does that give you any?
It does. The main
Okay.
reason I wanted to train is because that will bump me up to 1 extra insight so I can get a target.
Nice.
Since I now have all those bullets.
What did you get, Anya?
I get a 2nd dot in study and a 2nd dot in prowl.
Awesome. And what was your second one, Morningstar? Or Elise?
Prowess. I didn't get a point in that yet. But
Okay.
will likely be some time before then.
Okay. All right. So any gather information, those are free. Or anything you want to do prior to deciding on the undertaking type.
Not that I can think of.
Information we need, really. We need to go and ask them
Yeah.
nicely.
So let's start with a Coven tier roll, and we'll add 2 to that for the fact that they owe you a large favor. So if somebody can make a 4-die fortune roll, exclamation
Seth.
point 4F. Seth has the luck of the. You've used up 3 of your ones in that first
It's
roll.
true.
Oh, I see you typing, Elise. Am I doing it or are you?
No, go ahead, darling. As Gavin says, you've used up 3 of your ones, so.
Nope. Did I do that wrong? Exclamation 4F instead?
Yep.
Yeah.
My mistake.
It's okay.
Oh, there we go.
That's
Still
what
2 ones
about.
in there, but it's 6.
Okay. So they've been doing some research on their own. So when you get with them and let them know that your weight is behind this as well, they are absolutely on board and they are ready to go. So they basically tell you, give them 24 hours notice and they'll have every powerful witch that is a member of House of the Ram down there and ready for you so that they can make this cleansing ritual very, very powerful.
Nice.
All right. All right. So if there's nothing else you want to do as a downtime or a flashback for now, then
Were we planning on inviting anyone else along?
That's a good question.
I do believe there was some discussion about calling upon the Vulture Votary
Yeah.
Yeah.
to see if they might have a hand to lend or a wand.
Yeah, it definitely there's a good chance you'll lose at least one or two of your kids. It's possible that that any of them are children of members of some of the other factions of witches.
I thought you were saying lose them to the parasites.
I mean, that's what we're all worried about, isn't it?
True. I can't risk losing those children. Not after all the training I went through.
I mean, and they're effectively amnesiac when it comes to their actual parentage, so they
shall simply call me mother, and we shall just call upon the House of the Ram, who certainly do not have any claim to any more of these children because they would have already taken them.
Yeah, as they did with Letha. All right. Any other ideas? Do you want to try to make a roll and see if you can tease out to be able to get some help from them without, well, yeah, I guess if they...
It'd be hard to tell.
Yeah, if they come to help, they're going to find out one way or another, so... How about an unusual source, like one of the Fae factions? I can't particularly think of how they would help, but if any of you have any ideas, that could be very interesting as well.
I mean, they have magic.
Of their own very unique variety.
Yeah.
I'm certain they are not particularly fond of eldritch horrors.
That would make sense.
We could
Not
ask.
generally the kind of nature that the Fae are in favor of.
Mm-hmm.
We could ask people at Rara Avis and see if any of them would be interested.
Oh, yeah. You do have one ally with Rara Avis, Big Ed.
And since none of our kids are obviously of a descent, it would be very unlikely that they would belong to any of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's an excuse to force you to do that accent again.
I don't know if I can remember. I think it was like a Louisiana.
I believe it was Creole.
Yeah, Creole drawl.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
I want that might be a lost episode to be now that I'm thinking about it.
I think it was, because that was only the second or third or fourth.
Yeah, we lost episode 2 and episode 4 due to audio and video issues. So yeah, that was a lost episode. Luckily, nobody has to hear my Creole accent.
It wasn't a Creole accent.
It was not.
It was an attempt.
It was an attempt at a Creole accent. Like I said, he moved from there to New York a long time ago, so his accent's shifted over the years.
As one tends to do when one lives a very long time.
Yeah, I know you guys didn't chop him down, but he had a lot of rings. Big Ed was a Cypress Mandrake. Is. So, would Seth like to call on Big Ed?
Yeah. Call him Big Ed. I
Okay.
missed that guy. I was trying to just find the names of the 2 people we broke out of prison, too, but I can't find them in my notes.
Oh, yeah.
My darling.
Yeah, there was a Storm Witch, and yeah, I think the other one died.
But there was a guy, the woman died, and then we saved a woman. 'Cause she got stuck in the statue, but we managed 2 of the 3, but I can't
It's a
find the
terrible
names.
shame we lost her. She seemed pliable. But that's probably why she died. She was weak.
Mhm.
Definitely not due to my dice roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find their names anywhere in my notes. Shoot.
Yeah, I remember he was a Storm Witch. And I feel like one of your characters were enamored with him. But yeah, I can't remember it. I'll have to go back to that episode and rewatch it while we're on break.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to just roll something like a consort
Okay.
with him, since you are going to have to get him to leave his flock?
He could
Okay.
send anybody.
I don't have a consort. I have one in Sway. So I'll take I guess I'll take a Fey bargain early on to give me a die.
Okay. How about when you show up on his shore, you don't expect for there to be another manticore because you murdered the previous manticore pet. And this one is much better hidden, and you get barbed. So you take a level 1 harm from it hitting you with its stinger
Sounds good to me.
before you get a chance. So that gives you 2 dice.
Just like manticore sting.
Yeah. Maybe to the thigh or something.
Thigh. Okay. Exclamation 2. It's a 5.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, you end up fighting off the manticore. It's a bit smaller, probably younger than the previous one, and you're able to hide and call out for Big Ed, and he comes out and calls off his familiar, who goes and roosts on top of the giant stump, the hollowed out stump that Big Ed lives in. And, all 11 feet of him comes creaking out of his house. And he looks over at you.
Treehouse.
It is a treehouse, yeah. It's just a very ground level treehouse. But he comes out of his house and recognizes you, but is surprised to see you. It's been such a long time. But he welcomes you in for tea, and you have a nice little conversation together. He tells you
bring him any books. I told him I'd bring him books next time I was back.
Flashback.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, you could do that. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Other than that, give me like the photos and the wallets of the Forsaken Saints I have. I have a 2-stamp coupon for some Froyo.
yeah. Yeah, he was looking forward to that. So, yeah.
Trees eat Froyo.
So, yeah, he tells you he doesn't have much skill in the way of being able to assist with that spell. However, he could certainly try to do his best to protect you. Or he basically he would let you take him, or you could take his manicore with you.
I take his mana core and I kill his second mana core. I don't think we'll be friends anymore.
Yeah, it might be safer to just take him.
Yeah.
Because then
I'll
if you get him
It
killed,
would be.
Yes, if you get him killed, there's no one to be angry. Problem solved.
We'll stick him back in the ground like Groot, and we'll just like grow him back.
grow him back. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so he can do his best to protect you, and yeah. All right. So he makes the trip back with you, and yeah, he'll do his best to protect the three of you, but mostly Seth, since he knows you best. And there will be a lot of people involved in this ritual.
He hasn't actually met the other two of us.
Yeah.
Just have that Book of Mormon song in my head now. You and me, but mostly me.
All right.
It's our song, darling.
So, let's see. We need to pick a undertaking type and then a method and detail.
I assume
I think cleansing under the spellwork heading.
certainly
Yeah.
makes sense.
Or banishing, I guess. It's somewhere between the two. Yeah, the mana core might be mad if you don't bring back his witch.
It's going to be the primary enemy of season 2.
I mean, I don't have a rival anymore because we killed him. So
Another rival for me to kill.
no.
You guys have been dispatching rivals left and right.
We haven't even met my rival yet.
Oh wow.
And the other two are dead.
And I think Azalwin's rival is also dead. No, Azalwin's rival and Azalwin are pals now. That's right.
They've
Hey,
absconded
that's kind of
together.
dead.
They eloped and left us to die.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be fun to figure out what's going on with them by next season.
They have a little bed and breakfast now.
So I guess our method could be like arcane, and that has ritual as one of the details.
Okay. Yeah.
Since this is going to be a ritual.
Does your coven actually have the rite of cleansing yet, or whatever it's?
I don't know.
What a greater.
In your laurels, right of knowledge. Trying
We
to
could
live in
take it. We have some extra that we haven't filled in yet, so we could take it.
The rite of consecration.
Uh,
I don't see a cleansing on
it
there.
should be under greater rituals. Maybe it is.
Yeah, there's summoning circle and consecration, but there's not like a cleansing.
Gotcha. It's probably consecration. It's basically a huge version of the rite of cleansing. So
We're going to have to go big because it is the finale.
So let's grab that.
Mhm.
okay. All right. Well, in that case, yeah, let's. Does that make sense for that to be the detail? So it'll be arcane rite of consecration, and you'll be doing that with the assistance of House of the Ram.
Since it's a coven thing, do we have to do it at our coven stead?
No, you can do it
Okay.
anywhere.
Especially if we're in a Coven stead where we're being encouraged to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, congregations and covens steads are pretty similar, just
Yes.
without the wild magic aspect. So yeah. Yep, definitely very similar in a lot of those regards. All right. Okay. Well, I think the first place to start would be for us to do a clock, which would be a
Chest burster clock.
uh,
For when these things just simply rip out of us.
yeah.
When they become bursters.
So a rite of consecration clock. It's going to be a 12 clock, 11 of them being the kids, and the 12th being Elise. And then we're going to also have, well, we'll deal with anything else as they arise. So, okay. When you arrive, they are all set up. There is a booth on the sidewalk just outside of the black church building, where there is like a witch check-in as members from House of the Ram are coming in from all boroughs and even outside of Manhattan to assist.
Wow.
So they're all registering outside and getting new patches put on their robes and things like that if necessary. And you notice that there are a few older members, which you realize that you hadn't seen any, come to think of it, older people involved in House of the Ram.
They let them out of the home for today.
So yeah, they brought some people out of retirement, it looks like, to come and help. So, but they fast pass you all past that and into the left-hand side of the big black door. And Puck, the massive satyr, welcomes you inside.
We're getting the VIP treatment.
Absolutely.
The very infective parasite.
Yeah. So they usher the three of you in, and you see that there are about twice as many people inside as there were last time. But interestingly, the size of the room has grown to make everyone comfortable.
Well, they get that Animal Crossing update.
And when Puck sees you all eyeballing the newly enlarged room, he sort of gives you all a wink, says, "I did that." And he tells you to, do whatever you need to do to get comfortable and ready for the ritual. And he lowers his head to Seth and says, "Can I talk to you privately?"
Lower my head down as well.
You get further away from him.
Like, oh, the horns.
Turn into something so you're taller. But yeah, he takes you by the hand and walks you over to one of the walls nearby, and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a coin. And when he pushes it toward you, he slides the Solomon's coin out of the way, and you see a second coin underneath that. And he looks at you and says, "This is the debt that you owe." And he holds up the coin that is representative of your Fey bargain
Oh, okay.
that he gets to collect.
Mm-hmm.
He says most witches never get to hold one of these, at least not one that is of themselves, but we're friends, so he hands it to you so you can turn it over in your hands and take a look at it. And he also gives you back the Solomon's seal.
Okay.
Anything you want to do with that while you have it?
Run away.
You can't collect if it's mine. I don't know. I guess Seth will probably take it and do the whole chomp on the coin. I don't think Seth will really know what this physical representation of it is. So just kind of okay, what's going on?
Yeah, it's very similar to those platinum coins that you had seen before. This one does appear to be a less valuable version, but valuable nonetheless. And when you touch it, the hair on your arm stands up. It's like you're touching a tiny piece of your own soul outside of your body. It's a very interesting and kind of surreal experience. It's like, how did part of my soul get out of my body and form this coin? You're still, it's confusing how this stuff even happens.
Mm-hmm.
You should swallow it. Put it back.
Well, he played the friend card. He specifically said we were friends, so I think Seth has to give it back. I think Seth's going to feel guilty.
Sure. All right. Well, you hand it back to him, and he bows to you and says, if we have time during this, I might call in my favor, but if we don't worry, it'll be coming soon.
Very ominous. Alrighty.
Okay. But he makes sure that the Solomon's coin gets back to you as well.
What a nice guy.
For now.
For now. I don't know what he's going to make me do.
Right. So, I was thinking for the ritual, we would start with a Coven tier roll, and we would add 2 to that for the extra help.
Pretty
And
good.
we can keep up the rolling as long as is necessary to fill the clock, and hope that the consequences don't overwhelm your ability to continue casting. So basically, if half of the people that are casting are stopped from being able to cast, then you'll lose a die. If everybody but you 3 are wiped out, you'll lose a second die.
Okay.
All right. So, whenever you're ready, we can get started. Is there anything else anyone wants to do to prepare? We can always flashback.
I
So
want a drink. Maybe a smoke, too.
I think as last time, they have a craft services table set up for everybody. So as people get tired or hungry, they can cycle out of the ritual and over to the food tables. They've thought of everything.
Or worse, I can handle tired or hungry, but I can't handle sober.
I want to give all the kids a hug and reassure them that it's going to be fine, that they don't need to worry about anything, that we're going to take care of it. Just go get in the circle.
Take a goodie from craft services and then get in the circle.
Yeah.
Animal crackers. Oh no, I suppose they'd be like Fey cracker.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that. Fey crackers for the for this universe. Anya, would you like to do a uh, binding circle?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Since it helped out so much last time.
Yeah, so I'll get everybody who's gonna be in the ritual. I guess we kind of want to keep everybody who's got bugs inside
Yeah.
the circle. So
So I
Elise and the
suppose
children.
I'm going to be stuck smoking in the middle of the circle surrounded by children. Awful. They're going to be coughing. It's going to be so annoying.
And it might not be related to the smoking. Could be related to the parasites.
I've got smoking and parasites, and I'm still mostly fine. And I've been shot through the lung.
This is true.
It says that it only needs one essence, but can I spend extra essence to make it better?
Um,
Like increase effect? Or am I
they're pretty absolute.
okay?
But I mean, I'm fine with it as long as you understand that it might not come up because they're just
Yeah.
so hard to break unless you meet the requirements.
Okay. Well, then
Um,
I'll just go with the one essence, and I'll spend willpower to get an extra die.
okay, sounds
That
good.
makes more sense. Okay, and I'm going to use my focus.
Okay.
Where's my two?
And what are you targeting with it? Anything that has the same sort of or similar astral signature to the parasites?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I want all the kids and Elise to be able to jump out. Like if everything comes out of them and they need to get out of the circle, it would be cool if they could get out. So I guess
A pistol, I'll just start shooting at the things.
So they can only get out if they are rid
if
of
the
their
parasites are clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
What element or what do you want to make the circle out of then?
I was gonna say, can I do like a flashback to say that I brought black salt with me?
Oh yeah. I wasn't gonna worry about it. Yeah.
Okay.
But black salt, that sounds awesome. Yeah. Very cool.
Okay, so I'm going to do my fortune roll, my focus
From
roll.
Iceland.
That's a complete success.
It sure is. You want to describe how you cast that?
Um, sure. So she would bend over and run her hand in a circle large enough to go around the kids and Elise so that they have room to move around a little bit. And then she would walk back around and sprinkle the black salt down in the groove that she made. And then she would, hands together, crouch down, hands on either side, touching the circle, and do her chanting. And the circle would momentarily glow and it would be enforced.
All right. Yeah, it glows for a moment and then sort of disappears, but the salt circle is still there's still magic energy crackling all around it. And Elise and the kids are trapped inside. All right. And then the ritual begins.
You think people can still hand me drinks through the ritual circle? I think that's fine.
Yes.
There's no
With-
parasite in the drink, so
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
That
Anyone
would be
who
interesting if it was.
Mhm. Yeah, anyone from the outside can go in. It's the
As
people
long as the
inside.
drinks don't have hepatitis, they can come through the binding circle.
And if they do have hepatitis, we'll make a roll.
Get rid of the parasite and get Hep C instead.
All right. So who wants to make that roll? That's going to be 4 dice to start.
I can give it a go.
Roll related to hepatitis C. I wasn't paying attention, I must admit.
Exclamation mark 4F.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay. That's 3 ticks on our clock and a complete success. That's a great start.
Nice.
So, first off, I wanted to let you all know, as you're looking around and everybody has made their way inside, you notice that none of the elderly people that you saw outside made it in.
They got Logan's Durand on their way in.
And you're looking around and you're like, oh yeah, I wanted to see where, that gentleman who looked so dapper in his suit before he came in. And he was handed a robe, and then you guys went inside and you looked around and he never came in. So, and apparently that happened to quite a few people. The room is still quite full. It doesn't look like you're lacking for help, but anyway, everybody is hard at work and casting this ritual in multiple different ways. You can tell that a lot of these people are of various practices of magic because they're all doing the ritual in their own ways. But they've kind of congregated into little groups that are doing similar things. So the people who are dancing are in one place, and the people who are having an orgy are doing that in another place. But everybody's it seems to be working.
Or they've got a buffet and an orgy. First served, first come.
Elise, you feel the parasite that's inside of you that you felt move around from time to time. You feel it shrinking, and very similar to what you witnessed last time. And everything seems to be going well. So who wants to make the second roll?
Probably not
This
me,
could
because I'm inside the ritual circle and not partaking in the ritual as a result.
If you guys roll well, this could be literally the easiest undertaking ever.
It's 4F.
Food is very important in these situations. Yes, that's correct. 4F.
I'm so scared. Oh.
All right. So
That's another 3.
that's another 3. We are halfway done with the ritual.
Dang.
Things are going to go south. Because I'm out of
Think
alcohol.
positively.
The parasites, several of the children double over in pain as the parasites are, making their sort of last gasp to life. And they, are cramping and in pain and rolling on the floor. And then one of them, sort of their hand falls toward the edge of the circle and just comes right out of the circle, no problem. And they sort of roll over and look around and try to exit the circle, and it lets them out. And they start sort of cheering everybody on from the sidelines, as it seems to be working.
Yes, smashing. Now that you're out, go get me a drink.
Yes, mother. All right. People start cycling around from the ritual as people are getting tired. It's been going on for about 30 or 45 minutes now. It's hard to keep track of the time, but things are going well. And you can continue the ritual unless there's something else you want to do in the meantime.
I feel like this is probably the most important thing that we're doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we can figure out what
There
the
is
old
an
folks
orgy
went later.
going on.
Well, you're busy, and you're going to give everyone else your parasite.
Darling, I would never partake in such things. Elise is strictly asexual. Very, very opposed to any of that nasty flappy bit stuff.
All right. Hollis rolled the last one. Seth, do you want to try the next one?
Yep. Same thing.
4
Like
dice.
my forest. Here we go. A 5.
Okay, we have a minor complication, but we get 2 ticks on the clock. So that puts us at 8 out of 12 on the completion. 2 more kids are completely cured and able to walk free of the circle, leaving 9 individuals still having issues. And Elise, you're now getting to the part where you can feel the cramping start as the parasite has gone to the part of your body that has the most mass that it can sort of hide in. Oh, lost your audio.
Yeah, it's the only place where she's got anything. I'll fill out some of those dresses.
So for the complication, I think a couple of the kids who have been holding hands, through this, you notice that their hands start to swell, the 2 that they're holding together, and when they try to let go from each other, their fingers are like welded together, and they seem to be merging together, and it starts pulling them toward each other. So we're going to go from controlled to risky.
They didn't listen. I told them affection could only hurt.
All right.
So another roll.
Yeah. A critical will end this.
Oh, fingers crossed.
A critical has ended.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay. The 2 kids that are holding hands, they sort of saunter forward and they're like, we're fine. And they reach for the edge of the circle, and it rebuffs them and repels them away from the circle that they're trying to exit. And it starts to grow up their arms, and they keep getting pulled closer and closer together until they're shoulder to shoulder, joined up, like conjoined twins, and they're still able to walk around and think clearly, but they're quickly after that, their eyes glaze over, and they start looking around at the other people in the circle with them. And
Someone throw me a blade and I'll chop them in half. They'll lose their hands. It's hardly the end of the world.
You have throwing knives already.
Well, I'm not going to saw through it. That would be macabre.
So, as you're considering your course of action, the part where they're connected seems to get inflamed and hot and start like overheating, and then it explodes and just takes off both of their arms at the shoulder. The 2 of them fall to the side and they're unconscious. And then
This was my critical success.
And then the other
I blew up children.
The other children, where their parasites are located, also explode. But those leave only flesh wounds. and they fall over, and then all eyes are on Elise.
Does her butt blow up?
They were implants all along.
And that's where we will let the critical take hold. Anya, do you want to describe what happens?
So at least get spared from the horrors, but the children.
This
Maybe
certainly ended
the
much
parasite
better.
in Elise is struggling because of how much she's had to drink.
She's got alcohol poisoning.
An inebriated Catulian parasite.
Crawls out of I don't up and out of your mouth. Because I feel like that would probably be the nicest way to do that.
A little bit sick from all the alcohol.
Yeah.
The slightest, most delicate little verb. And out flies a parasite.
And
Very
yeah, so it
dignified.
crawls out, falls onto the ground, and it's dying. It's gasping and shriveling. And yeah,
Crush it beneath the heel of my Louboutin.
yeah, I was gonna say step on it.
Okay. Do you all want to rush in and start helping everyone out? So there are 2 unconscious children
Yeah.
that look like they might bleed to death if they're not attended to. But everyone else looks like they're doing pretty well.
Well, I better try to save my children. I suppose I should use healthy glow of them.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. Do you want to do the 3-point version?
But the 3 points says it affects my entire coven. Are the children considered part of the coven?
In this case, they are experts for the coven. I'm going to say, 3 points will do it. At least for everything in the circle.
All right. Well, then I shall attempt to save these children from the horrible harm. I mean, their arms exploding is likely worse than level 1 harm, but at least it might keep them alive.
Yeah. So there's no roll for that. You just spend the 3 essence.
I was
And
just checking for that, so thank you for telling me.
the bulk of the children are healed instantly. The small wounds that appeared from the parasites have healed over completely, not even leaving any scars. The other 2 children start to get sort of a pseudo skin over their shoulders, sealing off the wound and preventing them from bleeding any further. But they're still unconscious. How about the 2?
Just visit the Fey Market. It will get them some of those weird little tablets that turn their limbs into odd appliances. Wheels, it was, I believe.
Yeah, she had wagon wheels for legs, if I remember right. While she was waiting on her permanent magical replacements. How about the other 2 of you? Do you want to do anything?
I don't really think there's much else I can do.
Do we want to figure out where the old people went?
Yeah.
Save boomers.
Puck comes over to Seth and says, seeing as everything has gone so well for you,
Time to pay up.
yeah, why don't you pay the piper and take care of this issue I have?
Alrighty. Is he gonna send me to the orgy room?
No. it's right out in public. There's no separate
You'd be
room.
so popular there, darling.
Yeah.
Think of the things you could turn into.
Mm-hmm. Or don't. That's up to you.
Tentacles may or may not be involved.
Yeah. So
we were promised tentacles for this session.
We rolled too good.
Yeah. He takes your coin and he throws it toward the edge of the wall and the floor. And when it hits, it sort of lands in that corner, and a portal opens up big enough for you to fit through. And it is shimmering and green. And he tells you that he needs you to unshackle and bring back the thing that you find inside.
Okay. Well, I'm
Something
still.
tells me you're about to do something that is detrimental to everyone. But sounds exciting.
I'm still traumatized with Reckless and Haunted, so
Nice.
I'm just gonna leap on in.
Okay.
No questions asked. Okay.
The others of you see her walk away, and you don't see a portal or anything.
Just running.
You do see her make a sprint for the wall, and then she's gone.
Trying to avoid the reference there to a certain work written by someone disreputable.
Yeah, there's no markings on the wall that say like 9 3/4 or anything. When you arrive on the other side, you see that you are in what appears to be a hedge maze. The hedges are about 10 feet tall, and they actually form a little bit of a ceiling over your head.
Cheat and climb on top.
And you can hear the sound of chains scraping on the other side of the hedge from you.
It's the Christmas future.
There don't seem to be any obvious exits that lead to that area.
Okay. So I can hear it on the other side where I'm going, or I have to navigate to get there. I can just hear chains somewhere.
Yeah, you can hear chains somewhere on the other side of the hedge from you. So you could try to burrow through the hedge if you wanted, or you could try to work your way through the maze and get there the old-fashioned way.
Or you could turn into a giant aphid and eat all the leaves.
Dire aphid.
Dire aphid.
It's 2 millimeters long.
It's like that horror movie with the ant. Old black and white film.
Oh, wow.
Seth's just gonna keep taking lefts until they get somewhere.
Okay.
Eventually it'll be the right way.
Are you trying to do that quietly, or just the smart route?
Yeah, taking the smart route. That way, I for sure don't do the same path over and over again. And I guess, well, not trying to be. I don't know if I necessarily know there's a risk at this point, so maybe I'm not sneaking, but I'm not clumbering about making a bunch of noise.
Maybe a survey would make sense, or maybe target.
Yeah. Target, maybe, because there's somewhere I'm actually trying to get to. I'm focusing on the sound. I have 1 in for target, so I will pop 2 willpower so I get an extra point.
Okay.
It'll be 2. Oh, a 3. That didn't go so well.
Okay.
All the bad rules for now.
I took a right. I broke my rule.
You're like, I'm only taking lefts. Ooh, that right looks really interesting. Okay. So you are plodding through, and you find this sort of stony area, and you take a couple steps out into the stony area, and as you turn to your left to make the next turn, you step out and you see a huge metal object fly past your face and land it stuck into the hedge on the opposite side of you. It appears to be a approximately 10-foot tall and 6-foot around rusted metal cage with nothing in it.
This cage has been like chucked into the hedge, or I'm seeing the cage and
Yep,
there's something else.
The cage has been chucked into the hedge.
Okay. Can I use my psychometry to gather
yeah,
information about it?
you can see it being tugged. Whatever's on the other end of there's a chain. Sorry.
So it's not just
attached.
by itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the chain is being tugged, trying to pull the cage back out of the hedge.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll follow the chain.
Okay. You turn around and you see a very upset looking troll. It looks to be about 2 feet taller than the one that you had met previously, the sea troll.
Mm-hmm.
That is Hollis's friend. I think all of your friend at this point. But it does not look like it doesn't give you a good feeling that it's capable of speech, judging by the way it looks.
Okay.
The chain is attached to a bracelet that is around its left arm.
Okay. Does it appear threatened? Is it scared that I'm there? Is it agitated that I'm there? Can I glean anything from this?
Yeah, it was trying to kill you. If that cage would have hit you, it probably would have knocked you out.
Okay.
So, we're going up to desperate.
There it is. Hollis and I are going to have some drinks, I assume.
They're just snacking on the other side, stuffing their face with cake. I wonder where Seth went.
Well, if you have your mind open to us, we could know where you went.
Oh, that's a good question.
If the portal does anything about that.
Let's roll a 2-die fortune roll. Can you roll that, Morningstar? Hello, Fairvic. Thank you for chatting. You will be entered in the drawing tonight.
We cannot see where Seth is.
Yeah, it looks like the telepathic bond is not penetrating the whatever realm that Seth finds themselves in.
But we saw them run into the wall, right?
Yep, you did.
So I'm gonna go ask Puck where Seth went.
He says, "Oh, I assure you, she's safe. She had to do some work for me, but it's a one-person job.
Are you sure it's a one-person job?
If Seth comes back out of the portal, then it was a one-person job.
Well, what if they don't?
Then it might have been a two-person job.
Can I just go and make sure?
It's like, I only had the one coin.
He puts his hand on your shoulder, and sort of looks at you like you're making a deal. If you make a deal with him, he'll let you in. It'll cost you 3 Fey bargain.
3?
3.
I mean, nothing bad's happened to me just yet. So, if you want, you can have some Fey crackers. Well, I try a little bit more.
Yeah,
Hey,
I don't know. As
crackers for the
far as I know,
children.
you're bleeding to death on the other side of the wall, and I have to help you.
It is unusual for your telepathic bond to be broken like that.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't like. Well, if I do 3 Fey bargain, that puts me over to a Fey contract.
Nice.
So he's going to send you through the wall.
Yeah.
Won't that just clear my Fey contract? I'm doing a job for a Fey, right?
No, this is separate.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Okay. So he tells you that Seth is in there uh, breaking out a friend from, let's say, prison.
Okay. That's the thing that we all like to do.
And, you know, I assume with her shape-shifting powers, this should not be a difficult task for them. But as you appear to want to help, I can absolutely make that happen. When he reaches his hand away from your shoulder, he pulls these white threads away from you, and he smushes them up in his hand, and a tiny coin is minted, and he throws it at the edge of the wall, and a green portal opens for you. It's about your size.
Oh, good. It's my size.
Mhm.
I guess I'm like, this is the same place. You're not tricking me.
I'm going to put you a little closer to the action.
Okay.
Okay. He winks as you go through.
Oh my god,
Why'd
if
he
you
gotta
end up
do
in the
that?
cage that's in the hedge, I'm gonna die.
Ah! Yep, in the cage.
Oh, great.
So you
Just going
are
to saunter over to Park with my drink in hand and be
uh-huh.
like, every
Oh.
time there's a party, those two run off. No fun.
He sits down on the floor and puts his hand on the floor, and he leaves a handprint in the floor, and then it fills with water, and then the water starts to shimmer, and you can see the two of them and everything that they're doing.
Nice.
Fun is what we're doing here.
So Hollis is now standing
Okay.
inside of the troll's cage and being pulled out of the hedge. It shouldn't be too hard for you to get out because it was a troll-sized cage, and you are a gob-sized person. But it's pretty dangerous to be in there for the moment. And Seth, you are just to the side of the cage, looking at the troll who is trying to yank his cage back out of the hedge to use it as a weapon.
Okay,
He
so
might not have even seen Hollis yet.
I feel like Hollis is in danger right now.
Yeah, so it's desperate for both of you at the moment.
Okay. Could I attempt to use Ribbert as a distraction, have him turn into something?
Absolutely, that sounds great. What do you
I-
want him to turn into?
I'd like Ribbert to turn into one of those large, like, Luna moths. Something
Ooh,
big enough for him to see.
okay.
Something pretty. Might just be kind of like nice and just calming and distracting for a little bit.
All right.
And while that's happening, I would like to make my way over to Hollis quickly to see if I can do anything to get them out of the cage faster.
Okay. So if you want to use them as a distraction, we can do just a 1 willpower assist.
Okay.
And the moth comes flying down and like around the troll's head and tries to be as distracting as possible. That sounds great. That'll give you +1 die to any other action you're taking.
Okay. I'm guessing maybe spraying to get over there to Hollis quickly, or maybe finesse. I'm not sure.
You're right next to her, so
Oh, I'm
no
right.
worries.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I might just do would a brawl make sense if I'm just trying to pull bars? I guess it's a troll cage, so it's not going to be that. It's going to be pretty.
It's
tough.
it's a very powerfully built metal cage. But Hollis can slip through between the bars. So if you just want to, assist her at getting out safely before the troll gets a chance to tug the cage back, that's
Okay.
probably the best thing. So that would provide +2 dice.
Okay,
to a
so
Hollis
I
action.
wouldn't roll anything, but then Hollis will get 2 additional dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess I would make uh a finesse to get out of the cage.
I was just thinking that. I think finesse makes sense.
Okay.
Just slipping right out of those.
And I get 2 extra die.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can get out without falling on my face. Sort of.
All right. On a desperate, that's a partial success. So the troll swats at the moth, and it doesn't hit it, but it causes enough of a draft that the moth sort of goes spiraling off, and then it uses that momentum to pull the cage out of the hedge, and Hollis is just coming out at the same time, and the cage gets caught on Hollis's arm as every other part of her has dropped out of the cage. And so it is going to break your arm
Oh no.
Oh.
on the way out. You can resist that.
Sure.
So from a level 3 harm down to a level 1 harm with a prowess.
Okay. I got a 6.
That was
Ooh.
almost a crit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So just
Okay.
1 willpower?
Yeah.
Or no willpower?
No willpower.
Okay.
That
And
reduces
now it's
it
just
to
level 1 harm?
level 1 harm,
Okay.
shoulder sprain.
Shoulder sprain.
Yep. All right. And the cage goes flying back toward the troll, and he grabs the chain with his other arm and starts swinging the cage over his head like a flail.
Can I talk to the troll?
Yeah, you do get the feeling that there's a good chance he's incapable of speech, but when it comes to fey creatures, you can't necessarily trust that instinct
Yeah.
100%.
You can use my hood of understanding as well if that
Oh,
might help
yeah.
you.
All right. Do you two want to? Your telepathic communication has probably been reestablished.
Oh, good.
You can hear Elise thinking about what buzzkills you are for leaving the party.
All right. So I think in the few seconds you have there, you two can hand off the item. And Hollis, do you want to activate the?
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to use for your action? You're just trying to engage it in conversation?
Yeah. So I guess a consort roll,
That would make sense to me.
and I'm going to spend willpower to bump that up.
Okay.
And we'll see what we get.
So what the helm is going to do is going to give you the fictional position to be able to communicate with it effectively.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. The troll looks stunned as you are speaking its language as if you're a native to its lands. And maybe it's something in the accent of the other troll that you met and befriended that you've picked up on, but you hit his ear just right. And in sort of a fluid motion, he brings the cage around and stops it with one hand, and you see as he's lowering it down, it burning his hand as he's setting it down. And he sets it gently on the ground, and takes a cautious step toward you. You see that the wristband on his arm is burning him as well. You can smell burning hair.
I'm gonna tell him that we're here to break him loose and take him somewhere safe. If he has any idea of what kind of metal this is, so that we could take care of it.
Or a chalcum.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
He brings it toward you and holds it down as low as he can. You hear his back creak as he reaches down to you. He kind of eyeballs Seth and the moth, and let's see. We have. Oh no, you rolled a 6. So you hear the sound of armor clanking in the distance.
There's a chain, right?
Yeah.
So what if I just melt the chain and then we leave and then we can get the cuff off of him later?
Yeah, worth a shot. What do you want to use for that?
A lot of fire.
A lot of fire.
A lot of very concentrated fire.
Burn the hedge down at the same time. Make it arson.
Oh, this is going to be like a brulee torch, just like a bright blue flame out of one finger. Just
hellfire out of one finger.
This is my hell finger. Your Hellboy's
dust.
Hellboy's tiny cousin.
Since I don't know what kind of metal this is or how hard it's going to be to melt, I think I'm going to spend a fair amount of essence so that I have a really hot flame just to be extra safe.
You did notice that the chain did not burn him.
Okay.
The cuff and the cage did.
Okay, so maybe it's just like a more standard metal.
Might be.
What if Seth did psychometry on it so we could get a better idea of what kind of metal it is?
Yeah, like I touch the cage and the cuff.
Yeah. And the chain so we can see how it's forged.
Okay, I can do that. I can pop in a
cuff, chain, or cage first, because each would be a separate action. Right now, Hollis is just trying to break the chain.
If Hollis is trying to break the chain, then maybe do you want me to do the chain or the cuff? If you're already working on the chain.
Before I went to work on the chain, I was kind of curious as to what kind of metal it was, so I don't overdo it. And
okay, yeah, then I'll do the chain then.
Okay. All right. You can choose the role. I think people usually go with, focus or study.
Well, I'm even in both, so that works for me. Exclamation mark 3.
Oh.
Complete success.
Okay. Yeah, this appears to be more or less standard chain. It's been hand hammered, but it seems to be an alloy very similar to steel.
Okay.
Just Fey crafted. So yeah, you get a vision of the craftsman that put this chain together. It kind of has some gob features, but it's
Hephaestus.
But it's a gentleman, and he seems very intent on crafting every ring individually, perfectly, and joining them together. It's a very it's definitely an intense exercise. And then other than that, all you see is it being attached by another armored gob to this troll. As you see, you see but can't understand because you don't have the hood on. But you do see that he is being convicted and sentenced for some kind of crimes. It's definitely some sort of court activity that's happening in the vision that you're seeing, but you're not getting any of the details.
At least
yeah,
you know
you
enough
see
to not go overkill on cutting the chain.
All right. How many essence do you want to use to blowtorch that chain?
I think I'm going to do 3.
Oh, damn.
I mean, that's going to be really hot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's great, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to spend 3 essence. I'm going to pop 2 willpower so I can give myself an extra die.
Okay.
I'm going to use my focus to call upon the fires of Tartarus.
Nice.
Please don't fail. I got a 5.
Yeah. Okay. The chain breaks a little easier than you expected, and your torch also sets alight some of the fur on the troll on his arm.
I'll be very apologetic. I'm sorry.
He just holds it with his other hand and sort of he shakes his head, but he says, "It's okay. Just let's find the way out of here before the guards arrive."
Oh.
And with that, they start shooting at the moth. So you hear crossbows from the distance, and crossbow bolts go flying around and narrowly miss the Luna moth.
Oh, my beautiful.
Did Puck tell you how to get back out?
Didn't ask him. Okay.
The troll's like, "This is Puck's doing?"
Yes.
Yeah.
He throws down the chain and he's like, "I'll take my chances with the guards."
Oh no.
And starts
No,
to
you
swim
have to
away.
come back.
I think you might need to convince him.
I will help you uppercut that fawn guy when we get there. And if you don't want to stay with him, you can come and stay with us.
Okay.
Fighting trolls back to our homestead.
A giant troll bodyguard? Come on.
I mean, why not?
Part of our secure coven instead.
Can we keep him?
Puck looks at Elise and he shakes his head and he's like, "Come on, I'm not that bad." All right.
You're not, darling.
Um,
You shouldn't sell yourself short, really.
Hollis, what do you want to roll for that to convince him?
I guess the thing that makes the most sense is sway.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
I'm gonna spend willpower to get it. No, can I have a Fey bargain to get an extra die?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that uppercut comment is going to piss off Puck. So you're gonna get a downgrade from him in status. So basically, we'll treat him as a neutral Coven ally.
For me.
Yeah. All right. Is that good?
Apply him with enough alcohol.
Sure.
Friendly.
Can't hear you there, Morningstar. Sorry.
I was going to say, perhaps I could just ply him with some extra alcohol.
Nice. Yeah, you are able to hear all this.
Yeah, at least you get Puck drunk on the other side and he just drunk portals us.
Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Here we go.
Hey,
All right.
Hey, nice.
I'm the cutest. He can't resist my cuteness.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, he reaches down and sort of high fives you, and he's like, "We've got this." And he shoulders down and makes a rush for the hedge. And he just starts barreling through the hedge. And he is making a beeline for what you hope would be some kind of exit. But maybe he's just trying to get away from the guards.
I guess we'll run after him.
Yeah, either way, we got to bring him back. So if we lose him, that's it for us.
So let's start with a prowess resist, because there's a hail of crossbow fire
Oh,
coming down on you now. So prowess resist from both of you.
Their bolts shall blot out the sun.
yay.
All right, Hollis is completely safe. And wow, F with the critical resist.
Ooh, nice.
Seth, one of the guards climbs up onto a section of hedge and is standing right over you, doesn't see you, and is aiming at Hollis. And you're able to completely get the jump on him. So what do you want to do to him? This is a freebie.
So he's on the hedge above me.
Yeah.
Do I just jump up and like get him in the nuts?
Oh, yeah. That sounds great. All right.
No, I want to grab his pants and like heave him backwards.
Okay. Yeah, you grab the back of his metal greaves. He's fully armored, and you pull him down off the hedge, and he smacks his head on the ground. Yeah, he's about Hollis sized, maybe a bit shorter. He has a big red beard underneath his helmet. He's got a big spiky helmet. And a really fancy looking hand crossbow
Can I take
in
it?
his hand. And he's unconscious. Yeah, you want to take it from him?
It's mine now.
All right. You can mark that down as a Fey hand crossbow.
Ooh.
All right. And the two of you are able to get away and find your way into the hedge. So at this point, you just need to keep away from the guards until there's an exit. Puck looks over at Elise and is like, when should I make them a portal out?
Give them a moment or two.
I thought so too. He sort of twiddles his finger in the water.
Finish off this drink with me, and then perhaps.
Yep. He gives you a gentle punch on the shoulder, and he says, absolutely.
Hollis has gone down in writing with him, and Elise is going to like schmooze her way up.
Elise knows how the Fae work with their Fae bargains and their Fae quests.
Just why she never gets any.
Doesn't want to be on the receiving side of that.
She does not want to be on the other end of these things.
Mm-hmm.
She'd rather suffer for it.
All right. So, do you two want to do a group action?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not going to be hard to track him because he's leaving massive holes in the hedge wherever he goes. It's just a matter of evading the guards with their crossbows.
Group finesse, I guess.
And evading the police, obviously.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Soundproof a glass door.
We're going to get content ID matched. All right. Prowess, you said? I mean, sorry.
Finesse.
Maybe finesse. We're trying to avoid and dip and dodge our way.
Yeah, that sounds great.
5 Ds of dodgeball.
Dodge bolt.
Thankfully, it's very, very.
Oh, I can't finesse.
Oh, who's leading?
I can lead.
Okay. So that's going to cost you 2 willpower to lead, but then the overall result is a 4. So the two of you are running, and Hollis gets there's like a piece of hedge that's like an angle, and the two of you get sort of split on that angle, and Hollis goes off in another direction. But the two of you are able to sort of work it out, and Hollis makes her way back over as several more crossbow bolts rain down behind her, narrowly missing her. And the two of you join up, and the troll is stopped, and he is hunched down on the side of a hedge and panting. And he's like, I think I'm just about. Doesn't seem to be any kind of exit or anything like that.
I just nod to Puck then.
And for the partial success, there are 2 guards. They're basically pinning you down in that area with crossbow fire on either side of the hedge. So you 3 are all cowering back behind the one section of hedge. And as the crossbow fire is sort of pinning you in there, 2 guards, one on either side, step around with lances. And the 2 of them are about to rush in. Looks like they're targeting the 2 of you because you're smaller.
Well, that's not good sportsmanship.
But you have an action before they get to you.
You know what? Can I use? Let me see. The writing's really small. Mythical transformation from that little bit of blood and guts I got from the silver wing.
Ooh.
From what?
From the silver wing, that creature that was down in the underzoo. I think that's what we were calling it. And then it says I can do 1 to 5 essence for that.
Yeah.
To transform into a mythical creature and gain its abilities.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say
it had super tough skin.
Yeah, they had those really basically impenetrable wings.
Oh, I'd like to try to do that.
I think that would be like a 3-point.
3-point?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll pop 3 essence. I don't think it says I have to roll anything. No, I just see 1 to 5 essence to transform.
Yep.
So would I do any kind of roll to set that up, or?
No, you can just take any kind of action now that you're in that form.
Okay.
So you are now hunched over. You're about 9 feet tall, with a like 18-foot wingspan, and you have these wings that are practically sheets of steel, as far as being able to withstand damage and explosions and things like that. Yeah, you are definitely big enough to protect everyone from these lances that are coming toward you. But if you wanted to do something different, absolutely could do that too.
I think I want to try to make a little like wing bubble right now around all of us, considering we don't know where we're going and we know people are coming in for us, so at least we're protected.
Awesome. What do you want to use for that?
For that, I will. It's not really a brawl.
I could see it a bit.
As a tactical protect.
Yeah, maybe a finesse.
Yeah, I can do. That makes sense. I gotta like get myself around the troll. So
Yeah.
I'll do that. This partial success at a 5.
Okay. I'm going to say that buys you enough time that if Elise can convince Puck that it's time to open a portal, that that'll buy an action. But there will be a minor consequence.
Okay.
Let's determine what that consequence is real quick before we go to Elise. I think one of the guards, not one of the two with the lances, has climbed up onto the hedge that you are hiding behind and fires a crossbow bolt down into the three of you in an area that you didn't quite have covered. And the crossbow bolt penetrates the troll's clavicle, just goes right down in there. And the troll screams out as it starts burning its way, and it sort of digs itself deeper into the troll's flesh and burns as it goes through. And he's
like
just
anti-troll
pounding the
bolt.
floor from the pain. What's that?
Like anti-troll bolts.
Anti-every fey, yeah.
It's just like the metal, I guess, is working like a porcupine quill. It can't go back out. It's getting further in.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, and its name is Bob. That's true. No, I know you said Barb. All right.
My R's never get properly pronounced.
You'd make a terrible pirate.
At least I have the wardrobe for it.
That's true. All right. So that buys at least a little bit of time. Do you think it's time, or do you want them to?
It is tempting. Very entertaining, certainly. Sitting here with a drink, watching the whole thing in a magic puddle. But, evidently, you went into there to fetch the troll. And the troll has now been shot. So, likely good to, evacuate everyone quickly. So or rather, Elise, shall turn to Puck. And she'll slyly say to him that seems like they've really buggered this up. Wouldn't it be just the cherry on top to not give them the opportunity to salvage it properly as well? If you were to open a portal right beneath their feet, you could have them fall from the ceiling here and truly look the fools.
I think that's worth a roll.
I assume that would be a sway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm going to spend a little bit of willpower to bump that up. Just because I haven't
do-
rolled anything else today, really.
I'm also going to give you increased effect because of your description of it.
Playing to Puck's playful sensibilities.
Absolutely, you are. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. That is a 2 if I'm using a willpower. That's a failure.
Oh no.
I'm not very convincing. I'm mostly just threatening.
He's
Yeah.
not drunk enough.
And this is the last of it. My goodness, I'm not going to get drunk enough.
So he says, with how easily everything went tonight, with this rite of consecration, and it just, I don't feel like I'm getting my what it's worth. Let's see how they handle these lancers, and then we'll consider bringing them back.
Here's to that. I smack one of the children and tell them to go get me a bottle of champagne and 2 glasses so that we can keep watching.
But he tells you, I had a feeling you cared about them. I'm glad that I was right about that, at least.
Oh, don't be saying such things. It'll ruin my reputation.
We'll keep it between us.
I
All right. Okay, so it looks like the lancers both bounce off of your incredibly powerful wings, but there is a guard above you who is ready to fire more crossbow bolts that you will need to handle. Hollis, do you want to try to do something or command the troll?
Oh, because I'm a Silverwing now, does Hollis have my crossbow?
Sure, you could have handed it off easily.
Aldous already has a crossbow.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, you do already.
You could double fish.
Dual wield crossbows. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dual wield crossbows and try to shoot this guy.
Shame
Jump
they
out
don't
from
have an
behind.
auto feeder set up in them.
Jump out from behind the silver wing and aim your crossbows.
Say hello to my little friends.
Say hello to my even littler friends.
I guess that would be a target.
Sounds good. I'll give you increased effect because you're firing 2 weapons.
Okay.
What are you trying to do, by the way?
I kind of just want to hit them.
Okay. Are
It
you
doesn't-
firing at the 2 separate guys with lances, or are you firing at the guy that's above you?
The guy above me.
Okay. It's just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot both of my bolts at him.
Okay. Yep, increased effect.
Okay. Let's see if I can do it.
We're going to do +1 die and increased effect.
Okay. I'll pick it.
Ooh.
What the
Okay. So I think the crossbow bolt that wasn't made of orichalcum is the one that hits him.
Yeah.
But it hits him in the neck, and a spray of iridescent blood flies out of the wound.
Ooh.
And he sort of sways, and then falls forward off the hedge into or right on top of the troll, and the troll grabs him by the arms and rips him apart.
Oh, good job, buddy.
An arm goes
She
one
turns
way.
to Puck and she says, I wasn't expecting this sort of show this evening. I thought I was going to be the star attraction. It's much nicer just to be able to have a drink and enjoy it.
The other 2 guards with their lances take a step back and reconsider what they're doing. But then you realize they're not reconsidering, they're stalling. So, another volley of arrows comes down, but your silver wings take care of it completely. You're completely safe since the one that was above you is down now. But that won't last forever. But yeah, they're just tink, tink, tinking off of your wings.
Jeff, 10 out of 10. Best tent.
Hollis is going to start screaming for Puck to open the door.
You can't hear her, but you do see ripples in the water every time you see her mouth say Puck. The water in the pool ripples. And so he knows. He knows he's being called. But he looks over at Elise. I'll give +1 die to anything that you attempt, because he is being specifically called on.
You know what, Puck, darling? I have a fun love.
We can barely hear you.
You're cutting out.
Is this any better?
No, it's very ASMR now.
Perfect. I turn to Puck and I say, Puck, darling, I have a fun little idea that might shake them all out a little bit. And she pulls out her revolver and she points it at the wall. And she says to him, do you think you can aim those portals?
I've never tried to do it that precisely, but what do you have in mind?
Well, I think it would absolutely terrify them if some bullets were to suddenly rip out of nowhere and into those odd little men with the lances.
Okay. Yeah, I'm willing to give that a shot.
To see if I can aim blindly.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't gone well in the past.
Let's do a 2-die fortune roll.
Right. 2-die fortune roll. That's a 4.
Okay.
Which is tremendously, well, less awful than everything else I've rolled this evening.
All right. You, Seth and Hollis, you hear gunshots ring out, and the first guard you see gets hit right in the eye through his helmet, and a big hole gets torn out of the back of his helmet, and he goes spinning and falls to the ground.
Well, note also, Elise did not try to communicate this telepathically to them.
Yeah. And he falls to the ground, instantly dead. However, the other bullet hits the helmet at a weird angle and ricochets back. And you don't see where it stopped, but you see the troll reach up and hold his neck.
Oh no!
And
this is
when
the second time I've shot an ally.
and when he pulls his hand away, there's a significant amount of blood, and he tries to speak, but just gurgles up something.
I'm gonna make a joke about now you're thinking with portals, but now it's just sad.
Now you're botching with portals.
Can I climb up the troll and put pressure on his wound?
Yeah. And as you do, the three of you sink through the floor and then through the ceiling of the next room. And the three of you come crashing down into the room with the House of the Ram.
Do we land on the crafts and service table?
I think that is a step too far that Puck is not willing to go.
He's not going to defile the food.
Yeah.
He knows he's the one that has to clean up the mess after, so...
House of the Ram is his bread and butter, so...
Might have dropped you in the dirty orgy pit after everyone had left.
Oh.
It's just wet pillows.
Oh.
Nobody put on a black light.
Okay. The troll is losing consciousness, but you're holding pressure on his neck, and you see Puck walks over and puts his hand on the troll's cuff. When he puts his hand over it, it opens and falls to the ground. And then Puck swoops in with a bandana and grabs and grabs the cuff and pockets it. He also climbs sort of half up the troll and whispers something to him, and then reaches down into the wound created by the crossbow bolt, reaches into the wound and pulls out the crossbow bolt and pockets that as well. And says, good to have you back, buddy. And looks over at the two of you, and thank you for your service.
Can I kick him in the shins?
Absolutely.
I'm going to kick him in the shins.
You're going to have a hard time kicking him in the shins, given your comparative heights. Isn't he 9 feet tall?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm kicking him in the shins.
You're going to have to do a high kick.
Punch him in the shins.
Punch him in the shins.
Heck, you're up on the troll's shoulders, pushed on his neck right now. You could just dive bomb him in the face.
So he looks down at Hollis and he says, "Ouch, that hurts."
I still have that crossbow. Does it have any more bolts in it?
The crossbow with the orichalcum bolt, you did fire that bolt.
It was just the one?
Yeah.
Okay, dang. I was just going to poke him a little bit.
But you could remind the troll about what he wanted to do when he got back.
Yeah, he's not in any condition to do that now, sadly.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
I'll tell him that my offer still stands if he wants to come with us.
He looks over at you and then looks over at Puck like, he just heard you say that. And he's like, oh, he probably heard everything. But yeah, only you can understand him.
I'm going to ask him then why he didn't want to come back. Is Puck mean to him?
He sort of bows his head and says, it's complicated.
Did you take the fall for Puck? Should Puck have been the one in the cage instead of you?
He touches his nose and and then kind of saunters away to go sit quietly in a corner.
I'll hand you your hood back.
You want to keep the crossbow?
No, I'm playing with mine. I'm making special bolts for it, so.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, that is an undertaking complete. Anything else
And
you
an
want?
extra undertaking to make up for the fact that we succeeded in the first one far too quickly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The Fae contracts are usually like a one-person thing, but I liked that, we got to involve everybody. Because, yeah, that was...
I took them on my trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. But meeting with him and getting the job was definitely personal. So, yeah, that's really the only part that needs to be personal. But yeah, it was that rite of consecration that you guys just completely rocked. One minor consequence, and then everything else completely solid.
Didn't even explode. Only a few children did.
Only a few children exploded. And then at least fixed 90% of that.
As long as their legs still work.
They can dance.
We taught them how to tap dance, right? It's fine.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and then I'm going to tally up the chatters, and I think we should be able to do the giveaway now when we come back from the break. So we will see you all in just a few minutes.
it's nice to have a safer place to go shopping now.
All right, we're back. So I did the drawing while we were on break, and we have our first winner of all the people who have made a chat appearance in the last 2 sessions. So that winner is going to be notified by a Twitch message. Actually, they're in chat now, so we're
Tell us.
in chat. Last I checked. Let me check and see if they're still in chat. If they are, then I will let them know. Yes, Alf from Fairy Emoji is our first winner. And Raven's Shadow asks, how many more episodes are left for the season? This was actually the season finale. So this was episode 24. This is the end of season 1. We will be back in early April with Nightsky Sanctum season 2. However, for the next 4 weeks, for the next 4 weeks, Anya will be running Vampire the Masquerade Victorian Age for the 3 of us, as well as Azaelwyn.
So excited!
I'm wonderfully excited for it.
Yeah. So, yeah, very, very excited. I'm super in love with my character, and I can't wait for the game.
I am with mine as well. My goodness, I'm already feeling sorry for him.
It has been such a long time since I've had a chance to play, so I'm really, really excited. And Anya has been a storyteller for me at least twice.
Yeah.
And it's always been fantastic. So I'm very, very excited. So we have one more drawing today, and then the next one I will draw probably off camera after everyone has had a chance to donate, so that we could make sure that anyone that donates, because I see that people were having problems with the link. It was putting the word after with the link. So it should work now. If somebody wants to do ! donate, it should give you all the proper information with all the right everything. And the second person, that one. Ah, yes, that works. Yep, okay, good. That link looks like it works. I'm going to double check. Yep, that one. That is working for me. So, awesome. So yeah, I already have several emails to the support@balsamicmoongames.com email address with all you need to send in is any kind of like screenshot or anything that just says you donated. I don't need any more information than that, and your Twitch name. So, we have a second winner. So I drew amongst the list of people who chatted, and the second winner are they here? They are. Raven's Shadow 78 is our second winner. So I will message both of you, and we will find out what color of t-shirt you want and what design, and we'll get that mailed out to you ASAP. And I think... What's that?
We can all match.
Yeah. And I'm going to send out stickers to any viewer that wants them. So I will be sending messages to everyone who chatted. And if you're interested, just respond via Twitch message, and we will send you out some Tonight Coven stickers. So that's for everyone. Let's see. Is there anything? Oh, I did have one more thing I wanted to tell you all about, which was related to House of the Ram. So after you guys have completed everything and everything's winding down, the orgy has stopped, and everything's been cleaned up, and even the room has shrunk back down to its normal size. Some of the members of the House of the Ram, particularly Miranda, come to talk to you and just make sure everything's okay, check you over, make sure that all the parasites really are gone, things like that. And she's available for you if you want to ask any questions. I know somebody mentioned something earlier about wondering where the elderly people went.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, so she tells you that being a bound witch in the house of the Ram has its privileges, and one of those privileges is when you don your cloak, you do not age, nor do you show signs of your true age, and you can look however you please as long as it is of your natural body. So you can appear to be any prime age of your choosing. And that's why the House of the Ram members look particularly attractive, is because it is a benefit of their binding.
Mm.
It seems like quite the benefit.
So
Lisa says as she looks in the closest mirror at the crow's feet around her eyes.
and she calls over Methuselah, and
The Methuselah, my goodness.
you see a young, dashing, devastatingly handsome man walk up to you in his cloak. He looks to be about maybe 28 years old, and he unbuttons his cloak and throws it off to the side, and he is most assuredly the old man that you saw outside. And he gives you a wink and dons his cloak.
So you
And
have to wear the cloak.
yes.
Did he come from the orgy room? Was there anything under his cloak, or did he just flash us all?
Is that a fortune roll?
Are they have orgies, or they just is it all?
He says that down here in the coven in the congregation rooms, they generally continue to work even if you're not wearing them. But a lot of us wanted our cloaks back when we came back. So,
Did bound witches come to have such power?
so she kind of says, we take the power of the witches that are bound and turn it into something that's useful for all members. All congregations work in this manner. We take their ability to use wild magic from them, and in exchange, they're still able to work their will work, but they also gain the benefits of membership.
The benefits of them not being hunted by the order, I'm sure.
Yeah, so the order does not give such benefits. The order doesn't know how to use its power.
No, it does not. But they could be taught.
Yeah, that is possible.
Look at my children. Anyone can be taught to do anything. with enough force.
So she kind of takes Elise aside and says, I recognize that these are your children. And I think anyone else that's a member of House of the Ram does as well. But the outside world will not. I want you to be able to be a mother to them for as long as you'd like. I can grant you undying and forever young if you were to join us.
Few things that can tempt me so. I mean, aside from liquor and hard drugs and a chaise lounge that looks particularly comfortable.
You can
But
see
nothing really compares with immortality.
And you can see those things are all very well within their grasp as well. And well enjoyed and well loved by them. You definitely wouldn't be seen as a deviant for enjoying those things amongst them.
Give up such power. Even
It is
for
great power.
immortality.
She doesn't try to deny that wild magic is in and of itself a great power, but it's also a burden.
Change the world, but is it really my responsibility to do that anyhow?
Well, she bows to you and lets you know that it's an open invitation.
And I shall certainly contemplate carefully. Darling, I assure you. And I thank you for it.
She smiles.
What a thought. I could be 20 again. When? 25. Let's not go 20. I don't want any more baby fat in my cheeks.
So, any other questions that you have before we close out the season?
Does the troll come home with me?
I think you have room in your coven stead.
Yeah, you big brother.
You also have another troll friend who would probably be happy for the company. They can communicate well without the use of any magical devices, so.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
they got kicked off the ship and everything. They were
Yeah,
buddies
for
with us.
helping you out.
Oh no. Well, we can have a matching set.
Yeah, they're definitely different breeds of troll for sure. She's a sea troll, and it's unknown what he is. What's that?
An alt-right troll.
What?
A fascist troll.
No.
Like the sort one finds on the internet.
No, definitely not.
He's a good boy.
Yeah. Next season, we get to find out what Puck does with all this orichalcum.
Yeah.
So, yep. What we will do is we'll do some downtime after this and figure out sort of the direction everybody wants to go. But if anybody in chat has any ideas about anything, feel free to let us know, and we will definitely entertain any ideas people have. We do have a essence, what's it called here? an essence reward. For 10,000 essence, you can submit an undertaking. So if there's something that you want to see in the game, you can submit it as an undertaking, and I will build an adventure around it for the group. So that's a major benefit for people who have been here for a while and racked up a lot of the essence points. More arson. More arson.
I'm sure there'll be more arson.
Awesome. See, that's why I don't want to give up my power. How am I going to engage in arson if I align with the House of the Ram?
Good point. I mean, they're pretty arson happy as well. More tap dancing. Yeah.
There will be more tap dancing because we specifically avoided getting the children taken away from us.
Yeah. We are also only 19 followers away from 200, and I think we are going to go through the Anya's game. If we reach 200 followers during this month, then we will give away a hoodie. So a Nightsky Sanctum hoodie, or we might. Anya even has a special design. Yep. So yeah, lots of choices there. And so yeah, stick with us. We will be back on March the 8th for Victorian Age Vampire. And we look forward to seeing you all there. And I will
the next time you see me, I will be an overly lusty French man.
And I'll
with
be
a
working on an
ridiculous
accent.
accent.
And I'll be working on an accent too. We have so many. Anya and I are going to be dressed up, and we have some costume pieces. So we're pretty excited about that.
I'll have to get something Victorian together.
Thank you all so much, Drazzies and Typhoon, and everybody else. We appreciate you too.
Thank you for joining us for such a wonderful season.
Yeah. Let's go around the room again, and everybody can remind everyone where they can find us on the internet. We'll start with Morningstar.
Yeah. I feel honestly like people need no reminder, but I'm always happy to provide one. You, darlings, if you're craving some delights for your eyes, can find me at _Cytherian on Twitter or Instagram, or the Cytherian on Facebook. And, well, we posted an absolute masterpiece last week, but we have so many other wonderful things to come. I'm not even wearing a shirt in this week's post, so something to think about.
I promise to think about it. Laura?
Currently still don't have my personal links up for my future commission work and editing tutorials, but if you do want to see any of the work that I do, I am the photographer and editor for the Morningstar content, so the previous links that were mentioned, just go on there.
Anya?
Yeah, let's see. You can find me on Twitter at Anya T. Moore. I have an Instagram, Menagerie Nest. You can find me there, and I have a YouTube channel for Menagerie Nest where I upload videos that are DIY furniture for the most part. And you can find me on Fridays here playing Animal Crossing.
Excellent. And
You should see her refurbishments. They're just gorgeous.
And I'm Gavin, and Anya and I are the co-authors of Children of Midnight Coven, which we are working on the full version of now. The Quickstart is available at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com. Our merch store is at shop.balsamicgames.com or shop.balsamicmoongames.com. Got to buy all the URLs. And you can find me here tomorrow I will be doing a special developing stream. I'm working on a new tabletop role-playing game that is based on Animal Crossing and is playable from within Animal Crossing. So if you're interested in a fun, cozy fantasy role-playing game that you can potentially play within Animal Crossing, but you don't need to, you can play it with your friends in person as well. Then come join me tomorrow, and we will be working on actually building out that game. I have about 3 pages of basic rules already, and there's a lot of fun world building stuff that we can all do together. So that's going to be a fun stream tomorrow. Thursday is Itty Bitty Kitty Committee, which is another Coven playing Children of Midnight Coven. And they are a bunch of awesome nerds, and so are their characters. They're awesome, and you should check them out. And then on Friday, Anya is back here on the channel with Animal Crossing, and we will see you all back here at the latest next Tuesday when we start our vampire game. So thank you all so much.
Dressed up. It's going to be fun.
Yep. So thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you soon. Have a good night.